Lonniedos the type of dude to have a podcast talking to his own self. Hey man, where's the lie? Hey YouTube, how's it going? My name is Lonnie. Welcome to the Lonniedos Vibecast, episode 1, dude. Big day, big huge day. Welcome to my big huge vibe. The cast is limited to mostly me. Loomis is under the bed. We'll see if he comes down. He usually comes out as soon as I start talking. But dude, this is something that I've wanted to start for a long time. It's gonna be pretty cash and probably pretty bad, but let's freaking do it. If you're watching this on YouTube, smash that like button, and if you're listening to this with your ears on anything, I apologize to any reference to the visual world that I may make and my insolence. Those are two separate things though. But dude, pretty fire. Got my freaking script right here, and this is brought to you by Satan himself, or whatever. Dude, I freaking feel like I just got back from Robbie's house, but freaking shout out to Robbie, because today, the day I'm filming this, is actually his birthday, April 11th, dude. I'm assuming he's like 40 now, because that's around my age. He's actually older than me, so he might be 58. Anyway, happy 20-somethingth birthday, sir. Feels like it wasn't just yesterday. I was sleeping in your home, actually in your basement, with the ghouls and the goblins, which I freaking... you took every opportunity to remind me of, dude. So I just visited Las Vegas for the first time in a while the other week. It was probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago, but it's still kind of fresh in my mind just because I stare at this screen all day and the world fly by. Who can relate? I don't know, probably logic. Anyone with logic and reason? Am I right? What was I talking about? Oh, I went to Las Vegas, where I used to live, you may remember. That was kind of weird. I haven't been back since I moved out, which was in like 2019? 18? Probably 2019, I guess. So that was like freaking like 3 years ago? Something like that, dude. But I haven't seen Robbie since then, because there was a freaking pandemic for a while, and then he's a busy man. He's doing crafts and building trees out of them usually, and stuff like that. You know, life just happens, but it was good to see him, and I freaking saw his new house, and it was freaking lit, and we made a bunch of videos. I'm talking so much, a mile a minute, but I guess that's what the cast be podding, even though this is the Vibecast. I don't know if I'm actually going to use that as the real title. Let me know what you guys think. Freaking, we might, I don't know, we struggling out here. We might need the SEO, you know? I just think that podcasts are too big of a genre of media to still be named after and be like a constant reminder of an MP3 player that doesn't exist anymore from 2003. I don't know, call me new fashion. It's a talk radio show for your iPod. Is that why? That's why it's called that, right? There's no actual technical reason. Does it show up in an RSS feed? Also, what is that? Can you put it on my ass? You guys are being ridiculous, and stop it. This is why you're not on the cast. Someone has to take care of the vibe over here. The vibe is broken, and it's in a cast. It's in recovery. What the hell was I saying? What I learned in boating school? I learned in Las Vegas that it's hot. That was a shocker. You know, I haven't been out of the Minnesota climate in a while, so that was pretty different, but it's kind of surreal to be there. It doesn't feel like I used to live there. It's weird but normal. There he is. Loomis, you look so small on the fisheye. And you probably sound even smaller on the audio file. Do you have any topics? Did you prepare anything? I think it's about time you start pulling your weight here. This little pouch underneath you keeps getting bigger, and you're still not pulling your weight. Curious. See ya. Our first guest, baby. Loomis is not taking care of the vibe. What else do we do in Las Vegas? We drove freaking the go-karts and stuff. Of course, we drove the old go-kart that was there's always a chance of it blowing up just at all times. That's the one that Robbie had when I used to live with him. Every time we take it out, it would break down, and now he has like 8 other ones and still wants to hold on to that one for some reason. It's pretty funny though. Sentimental reasons, and I'm pretty sure he wants to kill me. Yeah, I got to meet Mikey the intern. I just cannot remember his name, but Mikey the intern, I got to meet him for the first time, and I cannot remember. I got to see Thomas the cat, and I got to see Franklin the cat, who is a psychopath. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying, dude. So first I was sleeping in the guest room the first few days, but then Tori's friend Kelly showed up, and she's allergic to cats, so I moved to the basement where Franklin has been banished. And I say banished, it's kind of like those fancy prisons that they put rich people in, like the end of the Wolf of Wall Street spoilers, and in real life spoilers, because it's like an entire apartment sized basement with like way more. It's like, if you look at this room, audio listeners, it's like 10 times this room. But Franklin just runs around that whole like first floor and jumps off the walls and ceiling. No cap on God, no kizzy. But yeah, it was pretty chill. She was a chill roommate. Thanks for having me in your place, dog pound it. Thank you for sparing my life while I was sleeping. But yeah, Robbie said the person who owned the house before them, apparently the lady who lived there fell down the stairs and died. So yeah, he would just be like, yeah, you're sitting right where she died. And I'm like, you told me yesterday and the day before. And also, what do you want me to... You want me to be scared? Quit it. I'm trying to pretend you're not telling me this again. He's a sicko, I'm pretty sure. I have known him for like how many years? At least like 10. I've deduced that he might be a sicko, and I'm gonna keep investigating. Nah, I'm only joshing, but what else did we do there for videos? We did TikTok filters for Robbie's channel. We'll see if that video comes out somewhere. He had like a Spirit Halloween animatronic spider, like, you know, the one where you walk in the front door. That if you've ever been in a Spirit Halloween, you've walked on that little gamepad and it's jumped at you and probably freaked you out. We turned that. We basically just glued a big train to it and made it a Choo Choo Charles. Pretty cool. So it's like a spider train. That was pretty fun. Happy to be a part of that. He did a bunch of pranks on me that I reacted to, dude. I've been posting some clips from that too, also on the Lonnie channel. I'll probably post some clips from this very Vibecast on the Lonnie channel. And fuck the iPod. Do they even make those anymore, or do they just exist to keep GameStop in business? Keep Goodwill thriving? I don't even think they would sell stuff like that at Goodwill. Just to melt down in oddly satisfying ASMR compilations. Or maybe my brain poison is showing. Who knows? Happens more likely than you think. I do be reacting to TikToks. I may not remember my own name, but God, am I satisfied in an odd way. Odder ways than I planned to be. Yeah, dude. And then boo. I forgot English. Anyways, thank you guys for listening to my English. The rest of the podcast will be bilingual. Who can relate? Second logic reference. Big. Think. Brain blast! It didn't work. Yes, Tori's friend that I aforementioned before, for a minute. I don't know if I'm speaking correctly. My new friend, Kelly, I'm now speaking for my own self, is actually from Minnesota, so we ended up having the same flight home, which was pretty cool. And now I have a new local friend in Minnesota, which is cool, because I don't have that many people here, but I have a tight-knit group of legends that I live with at the moment, and I don't know if that might change soon, because me and Steven have been looking for apartments a little bit. Not really putting much effort into it yet, but we'll see what happens. Maybe in the next 6 years or so, we should be settled. Our 2.5 children, 3 dogs, and fathers of 6. Back in 94, good year for breeding. What? Fuck, I really wasn't supposed to bring up breeding on the Vibecast. I meant they really should have released the Vibe Pod when they had a chance. Where's Steve Jobs at, dude? I got big ideas for him to steal. That's all that guy was good for, am I right? Oh man, I'm just trying to say stuff. And it's working. I'm doing it. Wow. Dang, Kelly, I hope I explained who you were enough for the audience to understand, because I'm bringing you up for a 3rd time. Because, dude, I freaking saw the Mario movie the other day. I went to the theater with Kelly, my new Minnesota friend, who I met through my trip to Robbie. Isn't it crazy how Domino's delivers? Isn't it crazy how the domino effects be happening, where you like call the pizza place and they show up and be your friend for a minute? And then I got dinner with them. I'm just like staring at my reflection in OBS, and I just can't help but derail the sentence looking into my eyes. I can't let this guy cook. He is not cooking nothing. He is not cooking nothing of substance. Nothing of caloric substance. I'm actually rebranding this podcast to caloric substance. Metaphorical substance. And what the hell was I saying? Mario, it's a me. Dude, I saw the freaking Mario movie. It was pretty mid, if I do say so myself. But I feel like a hater saying that. Mid sounds so mid. You know? Like, I would say it was on the upper echelon of mid. Like, Sonic the Hedgehog, I don't even remember Sonic 2, I'm gonna be honest. I forgot that was a freaking movie. Big elbozo. But freaking Sonic the Hedgehog, that was pretty mid. I have no real sentimental attachment to that little blue guy with the teeth. But Mario, I mean, I at least played a lot of his games. He's a cool fella, even if he sounds weird in this movie. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of just like a resoundingly okay kids movie. I might just be too old for it, or maybe I'm just... No, it's their fault, definitely. It was not me. I love mustaches, plumbers, Marios, Italians. I'm the coolest guy. I'm the most accepting guy in town. Easy to please. But it was okay. I mean, it was pretty good. I'd say it was like a 7 out of 10. I think that's what I gave it on freaking Letterboxd, dude. 3.5 out of 5, maybe? Trying to remember. I guess this'll be like mild spoilers, but I mean, it's Mario? I don't really even remember what the movie was about. Was Mario just wasn't really in it much at all. Who was this other guy? Could you imagine if they added Mario's teeth to the movie twice? No, there was a lot of parts where Bowser was acting a little creepy. Not like overly creepy, just like not like cancelable creepy, but he was singing songs, just longing over Peach and stuff, and I was like, this is so... You're doing so much. And I did not understand. The songs didn't sound particularly good. And about like 2/3 of the way through the movie, it was brought to my attention that Jack Black is Bowser, and then it all kind of made sense. I don't know why I forgot that and didn't pick up on it just from the voice, I guess, because he was sounding like a goofy turtle, dude. He was very convincing. I thought he was is he a dragon? He's a turtle, right? But he's got dragon features sometimes. Anyways, Professor Toadstool sounded kind of funny when he was singing the Jack Black songs, but then after I realized it was Tenacious D, I picked my destiny up off the floor and reassembled it. What am I saying? Yes. But yeah, just the lack of context was just like, why is this in the movie? This sucks, dude. But yeah, I mean, the plot of the movie, I would say, is probably like the weakest part. I mean, it's just, that's the part that I just can't really get behind. It was kind of stupid. They were just like doing stuff in the movie. But I mean, it also kind of doesn't matter because they were just kind of doing stuff in the movie. But in a good way? Does that make any sense? You know how sometimes in movies like Space Jam, I feel like it was really apparent in a movie like that they're just like putting the plot on hold so they can get their shit off for a while. like they're just gonna do a sequence of things because they want to. Okay, we're gonna do the Mario Kart part, and I feel like, yeah, this movie kind of had a lot of that too, but it wasn't bad. I feel like the reference humor in such a Space Jam was a bit cringe. But yeah, they did like a lot of Mario Kart parts. I mean, the whole movie looks like Mario Kart 8. Hello? Doesn't even matter because it's a podcast. I mean, like, it is impressive that they made it look so good. And the whole movie does look like Mario Kart 8, which is like a game from the 70s. That is a game from 1982, dude. That has been out for decades. It was a good watch, dude. Charlie Day as Luigi? Hell yeah, dude. He's not really in the movie much, but hell yeah. Who else was in there? Oh, yeah, there is one point where Donkey Kong looks down menacingly at Mario and does the Seth Rogen laugh, and I just know that it was on purpose. But it was cool. The whole thing kind of felt like Wreck-It Ralph 3, but I guess they just kind of beat you to the punch a long time ago. I love John C. Reilly in the Mario movie. I love Sonic in the Mario movie. I think there's a lot of stuff to pick up on for the gamers if you're like a freaking Nintendo fan or whatever, some kind of nerd, which is pretty cool. And yeah, even though the story, I felt like it was a little weak, I mean, it's pretty fun to just watch all the stuff happen and go on the ride. I probably wouldn't watch it again, but it was good. I'm not mad at it. It was mid, but I'm, good mid. Happy mid? 7 out of 10 mid. You feel me? Please feel me. Is this going well? How's my driving? Can you guys smash that like button before I smash this car into a podcast right now? Oh no! It's too late! Gosh. Thanks. Yeah, thank you. Are you done? Okay, thanks. I noticed this before I started this, but what the hell, dude? I got these KSI Logan Paul Prime beverages, and I'm thinking of filing a lawsuit because if you notice right here, I don't know if you can see this, but especially for the audio listeners, it's going to be really hard to see, but I need you to listen really hard with your eyes. You can see that little guy right there? What is that? It looks like my likeness to me. No sugar? Then explain how I'm so sweet and enjoyable and tasty and good. Explain it, KSI. Anyways, you don't have to give me $2 million if you don't want to, but maybe just say sorry. Anyway, dude, I'm excited to try these. I thought we didn't have these in the Midwest. I freaking saw them while I was in Las Vegas, which I should talk more about Las Vegas in a second. Sorry, I keep getting sidetracked. I'm not a professional here. What are you doing? Where are my children? This is just like a live stream without the streaming and the gaming and the whole vibe. All right, let's freaking crack these bad boys open. This is Prime Strawberry Watermelon Energy Drink. Freaking pink can. Sounds like an energy drink. I'm sure you could really pick that up if you downloaded this in FLAC. Dribbled it on myself. If you downloaded this in FLAC, you would have heard it. It's so sour, dude. I think after you turn 40, you just have an intolerance to certain flavors. So sweet. It's the sweetest thing in the world. There's only 10 calories in it. That's crazy. 10% value of what? Probably nothing. There's nothing natural about strawberries and watermelons coexisting in the same shell. What do watermelons have? Shells? Melons? What's the outer part called? Food for thought. About food and thinking. All right, let's try the blue one. Blue raspberry. I'm just going to go through these, dude. What do I freaking look like? I would never buy that other one again. That's my review. The blue raspberry one I have low hopes for. Let's go. That tastes like floor cleaner. It tastes like Windex. I have never had a blue drink taste this blue. No kizzy on gosh. I don't know how I feel about that. I guess if you really wanted something blue, you can go blue or go not blue, but I can't really say I'm a fan. Oh, this is going to be horrible. This is Tropical Punch Red flavor. I'm starting to wonder why I bought these. I got to support the boys. My fighting brothers. I hate it when the brothers fight. I hate it when the brothers make beverages. There is 300 milligrams of caffeine. Oh, electrolytes. Interesting. 200 milligrams of caffeine, though. So if I drink all of these, I should become a vegan. No, it says vegan on the can. Sorry, I'm mixing up my brain. And my flavors. I'm mixing them all up on my tongue. Listen to this in FLAC. Are these all the same? No, the orange one tastes like orange mango. Okay. In my expert opinion, as far as energy drinks go, I hate them all. I would recommend that you see a doctor before buying these, but I would put orange in first place, And I would put all three of these in second. I don't really know that I like any of these three more than the other. They all are terrible. I guess I didn't almost vomit when I drank this one. So, there we go. And this one tasted like the floor, so over here. Perfect. Orange, then pink, then red, then blue. That is the official lonniedos ranking. KSI, please tap in if you want any more tattoo ideas for your can. I feel like I'm ready to fight a YouTuber right now. I just got money on my mind. What can I say? Money and violence and athleticism. I keep thinking I'm going to hit the microphone forward and it's going to spill all of these, so I'm going to move them. Not a good idea, probably. Okay, follow me. Oh yeah, also when I was in Vegas the other week, we went to an It escape room with like a Pennywise It Chapter 1 themed escape room. I've never done an escape room before. That was a pretty interesting experience. I used to have a mental note that like 2 things I never wanted to be asked to do just because it seemed like the worst thing in the world to me at the time for some reason. But this is like 2014. This is a different guy we're talking about here. A different social being, dude. My social skills might not be what they used to be, but that is a great thing. You should have seen you did see what they used to be, actually. So I've made my point, I guess. Oh yeah, the 2 things I never wanted to be asked to do were to go get sushi. I just guessed that was super gross to me. I love sushi now. I mean, love is a strong word. I only like 2 things, but I like those 2 things, and they're good. And I'd eat them whenever. The sushi thing and then the escape room thing. And I don't know why that is, but I guess the idea of doing an escape room does sound pretty horrible. But I went into it knowing that I was gonna be high and useless the whole time. And just focus on trying not to be scared. Because Pennywise, a pretty terrifying concept. Actually, one of the earliest scary monsters I remember freaking. I never even saw the original freaking It movies, the Stephen King ones, even though I have them on my shelf. But I remember Steven, my roommate, told me about them when we were like 7 years old and freaking how scared he was of It the Clown. And it was just the most terrifying thing. Anyway, but yeah, it was pretty freaking cool. I have seen the new reboot movies, and it was a pretty cool escape room. I mean, I really didn't help with any of the puzzles, but I stood around. There was a lot of fog. The whole you were not allowed to record anything, so I feel like it doesn't matter because I'm doing it such good justice with my description and my world building and my auditory phenomenal. Isn't it crazy how phenomenals come in the delivery? Anyway, but yeah, it was like a foggy mess, and you just like had to try to find the puzzles on the walls, and it was crazy. And look behind you and like, ooh, scary clown. But I've never been to a freaking escape room, but I have been to like Halloween Horror Nights, and I know that like sometimes there's like people out there who really like that kind of adrenaline shit, and like they want to sign the waiver and like go really far with it and like get touched. I have no interest in anything like that, but I didn't know what we agreed to. Honestly, I didn't read all of it. I just figured it would be fine, but I didn't know if they were gonna like tap me on the shoulder or freaking knock me out and throw me away the key or something. So I was kind of just on edge the whole time, trying to see what was around me and keep away from some spooky guys. But yeah, there was nothing extreme about it. So freaking, I was probably just worried for nothing. But it was a good time. A good freaking time. I'm trying to think if there's any other Las Vegas tales. All right, sound the alarms, boys, because this section of the show is this is the drama part of the lonniedos drama alert, baby. Welcome back. You know me, dude. Always commentating on the YouTube drama. I have lots of opinions and thoughts on other people and their videos they make on this video sharing website. You know me, big busybody. My body's so busy, and I ain't talking about. I'm not slut shaming myself. Ethan Klein of H3 and the H3 podcast, very big YouTuber. Have you guys heard of him? He made a couple videos on his personal channel the other week, and I think it was like explaining how he's got some grievances with his YouTube network, which is Broadband TV, and how they took like over $500,000 from him from his YouTube memberships, which he didn't start using until more recently, and realized that in his contract he kind of agreed to something that maybe he didn't want to agree to, and kind of I empathize with that. That makes sense. That sounds like a very sticky situation, and I hope that he can get his money back, I guess. I don't know. I mean, he did mention in the video just that he had been using an Israeli AdSense account, like just out of laziness and some stuff like that maybe would make me think that maybe this won't work out in his favor. But he also said that he signed it to this YouTube network in like 2017, which is like, I could be wrong, but I mean, I'm pretty sure like 2017 people were already talking about like how shady YouTube networks were. And for context, I'm saying this as someone who has never been with a YouTube network, and the reason for that is just because they've always had this sort of bad reputation. I've never necessarily heard someone say, I love my network, they are so good. Not even like you just don't hear that. Like anyone who has a positive experience, I haven't. It's just like nothing to say, nothing to report, nothing bad has happened, which is like that's good. But also, a YouTube network is basically like a record label, but for YouTube. It's like a middleman that gets your money before you do in exchange for something. The reason why I never signed to one back in the day was because I was already doing pretty well on my own, and I didn't know what they could offer me. So I would just sort of like, I was interested because I wanted to. People looked at me or talked to me like I was insane. Like when I would say that I had never signed to one because there was premium ad revenue and all this and that. It was mostly the premium ad revenue, but I was already content with my ad revenue at the time, and nobody said any good stuff about it. They just said you had to do it. Which is, I don't know, like, it kind of rubs me a weird way. I feel like Ethan should have probably been more aware of the reputation of YouTube networks by that time, especially broadband TV, dude. Like, who the fuck is it? Isn't that like some dial-up company from 1984, dude? Like, they exist to do that. Multi-channel networks are kind of a scam. But I feel like he knows that and just always kind of knows that he has it in his back pocket. Like, this is like his 55th time doing the YouTube this bad, YouTube bad, network bad. What past Lonnie was trying to pontificate was perhaps some of his negligence was due to the fact that he knows that he can make a video anytime a company does him wrong and publicly make content out of it and sort it out that way, perhaps. I don't know. Just speculating. Okay, goodbye. I hope he gets his money back. I just feel like he should have known better. But yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, I was trying to talk about like my experiences with networks and stuff. Like there was a couple times where I was like specifically just replying to ones that I would recognize by name because they were like the big network that like had, you know, PewDiePie on it or whoever, because that's kind of just like how these business models work. Like they get the big guys, to get the mid guys to join, and then that gets the little guys to join, and it just kind of, then they run off with the bag at some point, and then whose bag you think it was? Sorry, that seems insensitive. But yeah, this doesn't just happen with YouTube either. Like there's a bunch of different, like if you make music and stuff, like there's a bunch of like agencies and stuff who are gonna say like they can help you with Spotify or whatever, and they just need you to send them $25 and they'll put you on this playlist and blah 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 blah. Just know that, like, just be skeptical. Maybe they'll help you now or offer you something now, or maybe they want to own something of you or something. I don't know. It never made sense for me personally. It is kind of weird to think about that maybe, like, if I had signed to a YouTube network, I might be broke right now, you know? Like, if I don't know. It's something to think about. That could have been a massively different financial decision than I would have intended for it to be at the time if my goal was, like, to get invited to parties at VidCon or something, you know? I don't know. I have very limited advice because I'm basically only telling you stuff about speculating. I'm just watching what other people do and asking around. But yeah, if you're an artist out there and you're small and someone is offering you something that's too good to be true, it's definitely too good to be true. And if they're coming to you, it's because you are already doing something right. So just value yourself properly. And dude, there was a lot of YouTubers back in the, I shouldn't say a lot, but there was some YouTubers back in the day who were pretty surprisingly down to just like shill these the multi-channel networks that would just like slide in my DMs and be like, dude, I love your videos. And I'm like, I remember watching you, but like not like, they weren't like the A-list YouTubers. They were like kind of, they're not around anymore. I guess that's enough said. They would like try to just get you to sign up to these contracts and they would get a percentage of it, and they're not telling you, but it's obvious. But it's not obvious. I thought it was obvious, but not because I'm a genius, just because I'm a fucking nerd and I stay on YouTube all day and people talk about this and stuff, and I ask my friends and I'm like, hey, what can a network do for me? And they're like, well, what do you need? And I'm like, nothing, I'm chilling. And they're like, but then they tell me that, but then they sign to a network too. So I'm like, what did they offer you? I don't get it. Thank you guys for listening to me ramble about God knows what for God knows how long. I'm gonna edit this up and see how it goes, but freaking let me know any thoughts and feelings you may have about the Mario movie, KSI's energy drinks, Ethan Klein multi-channel networks, my sunglasses. Smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, boys.